Hi, everybody. This is Ron O'Donnell, foreclosureammunition.com, doing video number 2. I'm going to call it securitization because that is, a word that's going around the legal community from coast to coast, and nobody really understands it. And they're charging homeowners in foreclosure $1,500 for a securitized forensic examination and all that. And I think it'd be helpful if you knew what the heck it's about. And I can do it in about 1 minute. What's going on here is the bank, quote, is acting in a dual capacity. If you go to any bank, you can go into any office, okay, but if you go to one of their regional offices, you go to their headquarters, you're going to see something. They have like 10 floors, and each floor has a different department. One department might be for consumer accounts, and one department might be for people that just, invest in gold and silver, and a whole floor for other banking offices, but then we have our securitization account. Well, that's not you. And quite frankly, it has nothing to do with you. But you're being sold a bill of goods, buying a securitized audit, and you're expecting that it's going to help you in your foreclosure defense. Well, here's, what I'm trying to explain in 1 minute. The securitization was for investors that invested into the bank. You didn't invest in the bank, you borrowed from the bank. So we have two contracts here. We have a contract that the investor made with the bank over here on my right. I guess it'll be your left. I don't know how this is going to work out. And then the second contract is the borrower's agreement, which you signed, which is on my left. The bank being in the middle. So what's going on in these court proceedings is there are people integrating these two contracts as though they were one, and they're not one. And people in the banking industry know that, and so do the attorneys that are foreclosing on you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what they'll do is they'll invoke paperwork from a contract that has absolutely nothing to do with you and your foreclosure into your foreclosure case, and count on the fact that you don't know what you're doing, and you walk away in total confusion, which we did for years, till we figured it out. But that's what my workbook's all about. We figured it out, folks. Foreclosureammunition.com. You can go online and order the workbook for $99.99, and I'll give you this as part of my workbook, which pretty much explains what I just said to you. It's going to save you $1,500 and probably another $2,000 or $3,000 in legal fees. But you need to know when you hire an attorney, or when you decide to go ahead and fight against an illegal foreclosure, what you're talking about. Let's see my workbook for $100. But I'm going to read you something. It's in the workbook, by the way. I'm going to put it down because it's 300 pages. If it falls, it'll hurt my dog. But securitization, what is it? And I put on here, this is who owns your mortgage, or at least claims to own your mortgage, as you shall see. Then I go on. Securitization is the financial practice of pooling various types of contractual debts, such as residential mortgages, commercial mortgages, auto loans, can you believe it, or even credit card debt obligations, or other non-debt assets which generate receivables. Well, you've read in the paper and seen on the news that the United States of America is in debt, $18 trillion, and you're wondering, where's that $1 trillion number come from? What is this debt coming from? They call it derivatives, right? Your home mortgage was turned into a derivative, but you had nothing to do with that. That was over there on the securitization, on my right contract, which you're not involved in. But they invoke it into your court case. You're on me over here with your contractual obligation that you incurred when you borrowed money from the bank. Remember, the bank was just a broker. And they took money from investors and they lent it to people that were, the borrowers. So you had your creditors over here, you had your debtor over here, they were just a broker. Bank of America was a broker. They brought in money, they lent money. But they won't tell you that in court when they're foreclosing on you. And part of my workbook is to inform you that if you think about this now, in 2008 when we had the world financial crisis, over $6 trillion was given to the banks in quantitative easing. And all of those investors, that was to pay off the investors. They called them homeowner settlements, and they weren't. That was what they were labeled as, homeowner settlements. What a joke. No homeowner I know got any money. What happened here was that the money went to the investors. Now you're going to say, who are these investors? Well, let's start with the teachers' pension fund, the firemen's pension fund, police officers' pension fund, all county employees' pension funds, all over the country, all over the whole United States. So they paid off those pension funds because they had to, because they didn't want them to collapse. But just so you get it, it didn't do anything to help you in the situation you're in, yet that paperwork's being invoked against you. And they're counting on your lack of knowledge and your lack of legal training to be unable to decipher the difference. And therefore, they foreclose, throwing a whole bunch of paperwork at you that you can't read. And believe it or not, I have a doctorate degree in law since 1978, and I didn't figure it out until about 2 years ago. That's a shame. But you don't have to go through all that. What you have to do, if you intend to go ahead and fight for your home, is to go on to foreclosureammunition.com, buy the workbook, join our group. I don't let anybody in our group unless they don't buy the workbook first. If you buy the workbook, you can go ahead and I'll introduce you to the rest of the people in my group. We're a very tight-knit group. We have no room for people that are just joking around. We look for trolls regularly. And if we find out that you are a troll for the bank or anything, we actually will report you. Because we're very serious about homeowner defense. We're very serious about the United States Constitution, and we're very serious about people having a right to have a roof over their head to protect their families and their children. I think that's just essential in American business. And any company that doesn't endorse that is basically un-American and has to go. Now it may sound like a political event, but in the meantime, my motto has always been jail the banksters. You don't get to steal our homes without a consequence. You don't get to come in and lie into the court records without a consequence. You don't get to submit robo-signed, you call it, documents, we call it forgeries, in the court record and give it to a judge, and even though you're an attorney, you should be recognized with your, proper etiquette. You're still a crook, and you're a thief and a liar, and you belong in prison. And with that, I'm going to ask anyone that wishes to purchase my workbook and wishes to communicate with me on this issue of securitization to please contact me at foreclosureammunition@gmail.com. And with that, we can go ahead and begin the discourse. If you want to go directly and purchase the workbook, it's $99, and you can purchase it right there in the name of my company, foreclosureammunition.com. You can go straight on the web, punch that in. That's the name of my company also. And you can order the workbook. It's $99.99, and you'll have it by priority mail, United States Postal Service. in 48 hours. The next video will be strategic foreclosure defense. With that, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you very much. This is 2017. We've learned an awful lot since 2008. There's been a lot of battles. There's been a lot won. There's been more lost. But you know what? We've never been in a better position in the history of dealing with the world financial crisis on behalf of homeowners than we are today. So with that, I'm going to say, I'm Ron J. O'Donnell. Never quit, never surrender, never forgive the devil, and never forget. I won't. And thank you.